We ate food out of a toilet and paid for it.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
Thank you for joining us today. Now, there's plenty of restaurants that-
In the world.
In the world. See you tomorrow. And there's plenty of restaurants that have gimmicks. We've even brainstormed in past episodes restaurants that we would invent, and they all had gimmicks.
Oh yeah, the one about it was good food, it was healthy food on one side and it was bad food on the other side.
Yeah.
And you went in and you picked which side of the restaurant you wanted to go to.
It was called Heaven and Hell, or is that an actual restaurant?
No, it was called
That was our invention.
I don't remember. We never came up with a good name, that's why we didn't make it.
Yeah, that's the only reason. So when we hear about restaurants that have interesting themes, you always perk up.
Yeah.
And then when you realize that they're close by and that they are toilet themed, I'm like, ooh, I'm all over this.
I'm hungry now. Right, okay, so we heard about this restaurant. It's called the Magic Restroom.
Okay, the Magic Restroom Cafe is Taiwanese food, and it is in a neighborhood, well, it's in a city called the City of Industry, which is not technically Los Angeles. It's east of Los Angeles,
Yep.
about 45 minutes.
And there's a lot of industry there.
from where we are. And, but you go in there, well, let me just say that it's in this area that there's a bunch of Asian restaurants.
Pretty much almost every single restaurant in this shopping center was an Asian restaurant.
Yeah, one form or another.
Of all kinds of different kinds
But
of
this
stuff.
is the only one that is toilet themed.
Right, and we've heard people have been talking about this on the news locally. We've seen it on some websites, and when we found out we were close to it, we were like, let's go to it. Now the first thing you notice when you walk in is it smells like a restaurant. It doesn't smell like a restroom. You need to use the Magic Restroom.
Okay.
Is that what you say?
Yeah, sure. You go in the lobby, I would call it a lobby, but it could have been a restroom. There were toilets everywhere.
There were commodes and urinals in the lobby.
Commode makes me laugh.
And the first question I had was, can I use these? Like, I mean, I'm the kind of guy, when I see a urinal on a wall.
Urinal?
I mean, I make myself have to pee. You know what I'm saying? If I'm just peed and I'm like at a football game and I'm walking and in my periphery, I see like a urinal, there's something in the man inside of me that's like, you gotta use it.
I think that may be more of a dog instinct to always want to save a little to mark.
So, yeah, that's true. It's just, yeah.
Not very much
So
a
the
human
first thing that I thought was, I'm gonna pee in these urinals, but then I noticed there were like menus inside of the urinals. They had like menus stacked inside of the urinals. And then the girl got one for us out of the urinal.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, well, she did that after we had sat down. Anyway, the first place they sat us was a table that had a commode on one side and then a bench on the other side, and we immediately said, no. Can we both sit on toilets to eat,
We want
please?
the full experience. So she moved us to another table, and I'm passing people and realizing that, okay, they're all sitting on toilets with the toilet seat down. That
Yeah.
didn't seem right
Obviously the wrong move.
to me. You know, if they're gonna go so far as to make my seat a toilet, I'm gonna go so far as to raise the lid.
And pull our pants down. So we pulled our pants down, because I mean, I thought that's what it was about.
Ironic thing is that I actually need to use the bathroom. I'm seated on a toilet, but
Just release, man. You just release.
is that what I'm supposed to do?
There is not
Pull my pants down.
There is not a restroom. You are at the restroom. You are sitting on a commode right now. But then we were escorted out by the cops.
Cops.
No. Okay, so we didn't take our pants off.
All right, I'm going to go to the actual restroom. I'll be right back. Don't worry, I'll be back. Hope nobody's in here. All right, so in here we've got a urinal and a sink. There's no oven. It's not a microwave.
How was it?
It's a disappointment.
But when you sit on a toilet in your jeans, it's just weird. It's like something's not right about this. But when you're sitting on the toilet eating, that's when things really get weird. And so first of all, the waitress was odd. You know, this waitress was
She was acting weird.
she didn't want to be a part of this. She didn't want to be on camera. She didn't want to be on GMM. She didn't have a lot of appetizing things to say about the food that was going to be served to us in toilet bowls.
Well, it's not supposed to be. She just wasn't into the concept. At one point,
She was embarrassed.
Yeah, she did not like the choice of theme for the restaurant. Like, why do you even work here? So when I look at the menu, the first thing I notice is that nothing's gross. I thought that everything was going to be thematic, but it was just like pork fried rice, shrimp fried rice, curry chicken, that type of thing. But there was Chinese written above it, and we were told that if you knew Chinese, it would all seem very gross. And so she started to translate a few of the items.
Like constipation noodles. Link got the constipation noodles, which I mean they were nasty. But I said,
well, you forgot the chicken wings. We got first we got chicken wings in a squatty potty.
Right. And there was some discussion about how you would use the squatty potty.
You squat. You face this way and squat.
I don't know, to be honest.
Oh, do you have like a little figurine that we could
I would think like your butt would face this way.
Butt faces this way, and
because I don't think you'd want your butt to touch that.
No, you wouldn't. But you want your chicken wings too.
Yeah.
But then we were like, what will look the nastiest? And she said, well, the curry chicken looks pretty nasty. Actually, a guy came up and explained that the curry chicken would look pretty nasty. I was like, give me that. I like curry chicken. I've never eaten it out of a toilet before. And Link got the constipation noodles.
You can't use a fork either. You just have to stick your face in it.
Really?
Yeah.
What's this for?
Oh, you can use a fork. Sorry.
But I gotta say that the thing that ruined it for me was not that I was eating out of a toilet, is the food wasn't any good. The food was not good.
I mean, the waitress asked us once we were done eating the main course, how was it? And you know how it is, you just can't bring yourself to say, well, it actually was horrible. But between the two of us and the rest of the internet, I do feel bad about saying it now and not saying it to her in the room, but I still have to say it. It was probably the worst food I've ever had, and I like Chinese food. It was just so horribly done, and I don't think that was part of the joke.
Right.
I mean,
it wasn't supposed to taste like crap.
If the food tasted great, it would have been a great idea. Because after all, a restaurant, you need to kind of enjoy what the food tastes like. I'm not angry. I'm just trying to make a point.
I just feel like it was a missed opportunity because I actually am appetized by the idea of eating out of a commode. What I mean by that,
yeah, but as a concept,
yeah,
as a fun concept.
I like gimmicks. Gimmicks spice things up. People are like, well, come on, just serve it on the plate, man. No, I'm one of those guys that's like, hey, you can serve this in a toilet? Yeah,
fun.
And I can sit on a toilet while doing it? This is fun. Let's have a birthday party there. Let's get friends there. Let's make all kinds of potty humor jokes while we eat. And that'll be kind of gross, but kind of fun at the same time. This is an opportunity for a great experience, but you gotta deliver on the food. And it was the worst curry chicken I have ever tasted. And I'm not picky, and I didn't finish it. We also got some chocolate ice cream that looked like Dookie.
Actually, it didn't. It looked like ice cream. It didn't look like Dookie, but it was called Black Stool, and then Bloody Stool was the one I got.
It was called Red Stool.
Oh, this one's the Red Stool?
Yeah, that was Black Stool.
This is Black Stool.
Yeah.
It seems to me that whoever made this needs to go see the doctor.
This one?
Yeah, and whoever made this one has been drinking a lot of Pepto.
But it did have strawberry
vanilla
sauce
ice cream
on it.
with strawberry sauce with ice underneath it.
Yeah, there was ice cream and then an ice bed underneath the ice cream.
Underneath the ice cream there is ice, but it's just a layer of ice. Straight up ice. I'm gonna eat it though.
So I'm sorry, I mean, great concept, horrible execution in terms of making the food great. We're not food critics, but I know when something tastes crappy and it's not part of the joke.
So you know what?
Our apologies.
If you're in the area, go do it. And maybe, you know what? Somebody else come up with a concept. Steal this concept and actually put good food inside of there.
You know what time it is.
I'm Austin from Athens, Georgia, and it's time to spin the Wheel of Mythicality.
We need more ideas from you for the mythical wheel, for the Wheel of Mythicality.
And I would say good ideas.
Yeah, we need more good ideas. We're getting ideas. We need good ideas. Remember to send them to us with hashtag GMMWheel. Rhett and Link are in a horror movie.
What was that noise?
Did you hear about the guy that got out of prison?
Yeah, but did I just hear the guy who got out of prison?
Well, it could have been. He's got one arm, and the one arm that he uses is a chainsaw. Oh, did you hear that? Does it sound like a chainsaw or is that a weed whacker?
It's definitely a weed whacker. Is there a one-armed weed whacker guy?
I don't think we've got anything to be afraid of.
Nope, totally cool.
Yep.
It wasn't like asking like a reptile to fly in non-prehistoric times, because a pterodactyl could fly.